Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, and Rafael Nadal all do this immediately after contact on the forehand. And if you're watching this video and you're an adult tennis player, 4.0 rated and below, there's a good chance that you're not doing this. And what's happening, because you're not doing this little habit, is your forehand is flying on you. You have a hard time creating spin and power, and your forehand eludes you in the big moments of a match. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about right now. Then I'm also going to take you to the court today and show you a drill that you can start working on right now, right here today, to get rid of what I call a tweak. All right, so the pros don't tweak, they trust. So let's watch what Novak Djokovic is going to do here. And this is a perfect example of what I call a trusting forehand. This is what the pros do. So he comes up here to contact, and then watch what happens immediately after contact. Pay attention to the top edge of the racket. We're going to see the top edge as he follows through. It's going to be facing down. Okay, so let's watch him come through, especially as he's coming across his face. Look at the strings facing down to the ground. And what that enables him to do is to trust his forehand, to swing with a lot of acceleration. And he knows that that acceleration is going to create the topspin, and that ball is going to go in. What I see a lot of players out there, club players like yourself, is as you're making contact, sometimes you tweak on contact. Sometimes you tweak just after contact. So it's coming by your face. Instead of being like this, like Novak Djokovic is, your racket's like this. And sometimes your arm is also very bent as you're coming through. And what you want to do is do like the pros do so you can get that topspin going. So I'm showing you some before and afters of students who have come work with me, and we've worked this out. We've gotten rid of that tweak, and we've learned to trust our forehand, have more topspin, hit the ball more like the pros. And here's the good news, bad news. The good news is you know what not to do now. The bad news is you just can't tell and yell at yourself to get rid of a bad habit. And I'm going to play for you right now one of my favorite scenes from one of my favorite training movies of all time, $1 Million Baby, and it explains perfectly why you just can't tell and yell at yourself to get rid of a bad habit. You have to change it, but don't worry. We're going to go to the tennis court here in a second.
To make a fighter, you gotta strip him down to bare wood.
Rest when you're dead. Come here.
You can't just tell him to forget everything you know. You gotta make him forget it in their bones. Then you gotta show him all over again, over and over and over, till they think they were born that way.
Okay, so there you go. There you see that you've got to train this stuff. So the good news is I'm going to take you to the court right now so we can start learning how to develop this follow through. So you're going to follow through just like the pros and have a beautiful topspin forehand like that. So let's go to the court. All right, guys, so what I want to do is I want to give you guys a drill so you can do this perfectly just like Roger, Rafa, Novak, Carlos. And so here we go. What you want to do is you want to, first of all, just hold your racket out in front of you. And look where the racket is. It's basically coming around your stomach. But the racket tip is basically around your eyes and nose, somewhere around there. And it's going forward like you'd bounce a tennis ball. Very, very important. Because what's happening to so many of you out there is that after you hit, again, you're opening, and then it gets, the tighter you are, the more your technique is not developed, you're doing things like this. Now, if you hit the ball perfectly and then you do that, it doesn't really matter. But why this is so important is if you're doing that just on contact and you're swinging fast at all, the ball is going to fly. So what the pros are doing by having that racket face closed pretty much right after contact is, first of all, they're adding all kinds of awesome topspin to the ball, and it's keeping their racket face from flying open, the ball flying out. So again, right here, that's all you got to do, all right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go from there to the follow through. So just kind of, once you get here, make sure you relax your fingers. We want to be super loose on this as well, and just take this, I call this the trigger finger, take the trigger finger and just relax it over your shoulder like that. So just do that about 4 or 5 times just to get that feeling. Now once you get that, then we're going to bring it right by the hip. And you're going to make the hip make the racket go, not the opposite. We don't want the hip to be still and do this. See how stiff that looks and more like an amateur? What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the hip bring me to there. See the difference? So when I add the hip, it looks smoother. So I'm just going to get right here and then back down. Right here and back down. I'm going to get right here, pull the trigger finger. Right to here, back down. Up and go. And then do some where you're just like letting the whole thing go around. But make sure you go out first and then around. Just don't go around like this. See, it's not around like this. It's out and then around. You keep doing that every day. If you know you have this, you keep doing that, you're going to get rid of it. Don't even worry about hitting balls, okay? You might think, what's next? What's next? Don't worry about hitting balls today. Just do this simple exercise to start getting rid of this because it's a really bad habit. It's tough to get rid of. And don't worry, I got what's next in my 5-day Play Beautiful Tennis Challenge, where I'm going to teach you how to have a beautiful forehand, a beautiful volley, a beautiful backhand, and a perfect serve. So if you want all that for free, make sure you go below this video or anywhere there's a link, click sign up, and we'll see you guys on the next video.